What makes shooting the NFL fun is whenever there's a lot of variety. During this game, we had no shortage of it. There was rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns, and even a pick six. Today we're talking about the Bears versus Lions game that I photographed. The first photo, and probably my favorite of the entire week, well, this is Jared Goff on the right, throwing it to the running back on the left with the wide receiver in the middle. This is one of those shots that is really cool because of the tiers of focus. If you watch my previous videos, I have one similar of Curtis Samuel where he is in the middle and we have a wide receiver in the foreground and a wide receiver in the background. I think this one is extra special because the focus is on the right side. The focus is not on the middle. If it's in the middle, yeah, it's framed by the two subjects on the right, but there's something to having out of focus, in focus whenever everything is still working to the left. Perfect use of the rule of thirds and just a really nice composition that I was super happy with. When I get photos like these, honestly, it's kind of luck. I'm just spraying. I'm not trying to frame this up perfectly. I'm just trying to capture the moment, and when it comes to focus and framing, not really on me. I'm just trying to do the best I can to keep up with the play and notice this shot after the fact and was really happy with it. This is something that I'm doing differently with this game than the last game. So I am taking up the entire frame with some shots. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably noticed I had like the two photos, and it kind of got repetitive. Let me know if you think this is better, showing individual photos sometimes and then also going back into that two photos sequence. Might just keep you a little more intrigued, make you want to look through all the photos. But this one is Justin Fields under center and just getting ready for the play. Now for this photo, I really took advantage of the Canon R5, which is what I'm on, and its 45 megapixel sensor. So I'm on the 400 millimeter, which is tight to begin with. And then I also use the 1.6 crop, which is in camera. And then I also cropped in post. Now cropping in, usually you can lose resolution where you can really notice it, but I truly don't think you can notice it in this shot. Let me know if you think differently, but I think it still maintains so much resolution and keeps that nice sharp look, which I was happy with and really kind of gave me the idea to crop more of these photos, which you'll see more as these photos progress. More Justin Fields, another great running game from him, and up top we have him solo in the frame. I mentioned cropping in the last shot. Well, this one I cropped once again. There was a player or a referee, I forget, on the right side, cropped him out, wanted it just to be Justin, and you could actually see him from head to toe in this shot, but I cropped it so you can really only see him from waist up now, so he's solo in the frame. Now another one, we got something in the foreground. As you can tell, I love having the depth. The foreground blur is just money, but this one you can't really tell what it is. I believe it was either a person or the first down marker, not really sure, but either way, it made my life a little bit more difficult. But before it made my life difficult, I got the beautiful shot of this. So a couple frames after this, I actually ended up being out of focus, which is tough because something gets in the foreground. Autofocus pulls, whatever. I can't even see Justin, so it's not like it would maintain the focus on him. But I was really happy with how whatever is in the foreground there kind of guided your eye over, so then you see Justin on the right side. I think it's just a beautiful composition and a nice way to show him differently whenever it's not just him in the background. Whenever it's just that separation, it's cool, but not my favorite. Another one where it takes up the full frame. This is my favorite shot individually of Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the starting quarterback for the Lions, if you don't know, and I just wanted to make sure to get a great shot, as I've done in all the other games with the starting quarterback. So this one, you see there's kind of that gradient in the background. Did I put a linear gradient on that in post? No, I did not actually. I did crunch the colors a little bit so it's darker, but when it came to this, it was kind of one of those things that I noticed when I was editing. But the reason that this one is special, and the reason I even got that gradient in the background, is because one of my buddies, John, who I've mentioned a million times, he gave me the tip of shooting a little bit lower to the ground. If you notice on the sidelines, there's video people shooting with their little hi-hats, which are tripods that are like a foot off the ground. There's photographers on monopods on their knees. So that's what I tried doing. Now, this photo is made by that. Period. No questions asked. If I was up and just standing up, you would see the field in the background with some players in the background. But since I'm shooting low and I'm kind of looking up at him, all you see is the crowd, and the crowd is further back, so it's even more blurred. Kind of made the shot, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. A big focal point of this game was getting great shots of the St. Brown brothers, one of the Bears wide receivers and one of the Lions wide receivers. They are brothers. So these are both of the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown during pregame. Up top, we see St. Brown walking along the sidelines, and for a shot like this, yes, it's pregame and you have a lot more free reign for how you want to navigate the field, but whenever he was walking down the sideline, I wanted to make sure I wasn't standing in front of him for too long. These guys are just trying to get focused, and the game is all about them. You don't really matter whenever you're there. I made sure that I went up. I think I got like 5 different shots and I got out of the way. If I followed him all the way down, shooting with the camera in his face the entire time, it's just annoying, and then it actually affects your shots and makes them not look as great. You want to get in, get out. If you miss the shot, it's not the end of the world. Move on, get the next one. And now we have St. Brown again on the bottom. This is during pregame, a nice catch, and this is during warm-ups, so I could get up pretty close to him. He was playing catch with just a coach, so I went up with my wide lens. Once again, just getting a few shots and then getting out of there. Not holding the camera in his face while he's trying to get ready, not getting in the way at all. Kind of just staying back, getting my shots, getting away. Try and just be a fly on the wall. Now this shot has kind of 2 separate stories to it. First thing, we'll talk about this photo that I got. This was a pick 6 by Okudah. Kind of cool because he went to Ohio State, so did Justin Fields, and you know, Ohio State picking off Ohio State for a pick 6 and actually his first career interception. But this shot worked out because he actually returned the ball on the other side of the field, and then his celebration happened on the side of the field that I was on the Lions sideline. So whenever he came over, started dapping up his teammates and just celebrating, I was there with my 24mm lens ready to go. Was it kind of luck? Yeah, you could say that. But was I in the right place? Absolutely. That's the reason why you want a long lens and also a wide lens, so that if things come up close to you, you can get that perspective. And I think those are the shots that are my favorite whenever I have a wide lens in a moment that you're not really supposed to. You're supposed to always be far back, but if they come up close to you, get up there, get that shot, and I think it looks amazing. Now, I mentioned there was something funny about the story. The other part of this is I was shooting video during this as well. I usually get a couple video clips during the games, not really for anything, just want to mess around, change it up a little bit. Just so happened I was rolling video on my camera, 4K 120, got Justin Fields dropping back, rolled out a little bit, got pressured, threw the ball, and I thought the play was over, but then I heard the crowd cheering, kept rolling, saw it was a pick 6, then I got a sweet celebration of Okudah running, celebrating, throwing his arms up, going, and I was just pumped. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a great shot, going to be a great shot. And then I see him start to jump up, and for some reason, I was an idiot and I cut. So where this clip cuts, that's where I cut as well. Not happy with it, but I'm happy with how the rest of the clip was. And I think it's going to be my best video clip of the season because I'm shooting photo 99.9% of the time. Next, we got another shot taking up the entire frame. This is Justin Fields. I was actually on the opposite end of the field at the goalpost, and I believe the Bears were at about the 50-yard line, so I was shooting straight down the field. Just so happened that the line opened up a little bit. I could see through the lineman and just see Justin sitting there going through his progressions. And I love this moment where he left the ground completely since he was jumping up and down. I guess I really like that I just captured a moment that you don't really see in real time. Now, Cole Kmet had 2 touchdowns during this game, and up top we have a wide one of his first touchdown. As you see, there is that weird smudge foreground blur, and I'm not gonna lie, I had something on my lens there. Wiped it off after this play. Did it ruin the shot? No. Would I have preferred for that not to be there? Absolutely. That's on me. You know, you make these mistakes. It is what it is. Just move on. Now, a thing that I was doing during this game was I was shooting manual focus on my wide lens whenever they got closer to the end zone. Why do I do this? Well, really because the EOS R, which is my B cam that I have on my hip, just the autofocus does not keep up with the R5. So whenever I was finding myself pulling out my wide lens ready to go, it would back focus and then I would miss the shot and it will make it unusable. What I decided to do here, since it's the day game and it's super bright, I was shooting at f7 and I had my focus locked to about the middle of the end zone. So if something happened, I could pull it up, start spraying, and know that the shots would be focused or even a little bit close to focus. I know they're not going to be perfect since I'm shooting manual focus, but I'd rather that than have a shot be totally unusable because my camera misses with the autofocus. And then the shot on the bottom, this is once again Cole Kmet. This is after his second touchdown. Now, whenever this play happened, it was about a 50 to 60 yard pass, and I was actually headed from one side of the field to the other to try and be in the right place if something like this would happen. But while I was moving down, the touchdown happened. It is what it is. Missed it, but I got this celebration shot. I just pulled up my 400mm, shot through the other photographers, and that's what that foreground blur is on the left. But ended up getting this really tight shot of him smiling, capturing an emotion that probably nobody else really got. More of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Up top, we have him and him diving. Players on either side. We got a little bit of grass kicking up. Not much to the shot, but just great framing, and I love just the motion that is happening here. Captured a cool moment at the right place at the right time. Then on the bottom, we have Jamal Williams. This is him getting tackled and kind of out of control, and it's kind of a freaky shot, and you'll see why in the next slide. But this is him out of control, falling back on top of the lineman, and then we have the safety coming in to tackle him. Just a weird moment to capture that you don't really see whenever you're watching the game, but whenever you see the photos, it makes it kind of freaky. Now this is the aftermath of it. This is Jamal Williams up top getting tackled, kind of just getting crunched. Now there wasn't a penalty or anything here, but whenever you see this frozen in time, makes it seem really freaky. And he just got bent, makes you realize how tough these guys are. Got up, walked away like nothing even happened. Pretty insane, but really fascinated by these kind of shots because you don't realize what's happening unless a photo like this is taken. And then on the bottom, this Khalil Herbert running, finding a gap. This is one of my favorite things about shooting running backs. Kind of just get lucky if you're downfield, the linemen open up a hole and then you can see the running back coming through. I don't know, not much to it, but just love how it turned out. Now that's it. That was the Bears versus Lions game. If you're new here, throw me a subscription. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be putting out a video every single day. If you don't want to subscribe, throw me a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.